The Butterfly Effect by Nikayla Sarai. Chapter 25. Phone Calls and Visits. Roman raised his hand, his fingers fluttering in a silent farewell at the spot Thomas had vanished from. Shakily he inhaled, collapsing on the couch, burying his head in his hands. That wasn't how he had expected this to end. He bit his lip, lifting his eyes to where the genie had stood. "May you find peace too, Thomas," he signed. Thomas had been so surprised by his decision, so prepared to return Roman to his original life. Had he made the right... Roman gritted his teeth. No. He rose to his feet, pacing around his small apartment like a caged tiger. He couldn't doubt himself. He'd chosen this life, chosen to play this small role given to him so that his friends could make the world a better place. He would not regret it. He would not doubt himself. He pulled the kerchief from around his neck, clutching at the crown pendant. Happy thoughts. Happy thoughts. Happy thoughts. It was right. It had to be right, but... Roman exhaled, dropping his hand as he found himself again staring out to the river. How could he ever know for sure, without knowing how his choice had affected Virgil? He turned on his heel, once more circling the living room. He should have asked the genie about the scriptwriter while he had the chance. No, he couldn't have. Thomas had nearly turned black as all the colors in his skin blended together, leaving the faintest of glow, like a series of small twinkling stars shimmering there upon hearing Roman's choice. Had the genie really never had anyone say yes at the end of these warps? What was the point of warping if you didn't intend to keep the changes? Should he have chosen his old life then? Roman bared his teeth, hissing. How could he have lived with himself, though? How could he have looked at Patton or Logan again without seeing their happier alternate selves? That would have been torture. He had chosen right. He had to have Zzz. He jumped, mouth open in a silent scream as his phone buzzed on the coffee table. Jeez, who would be calling at this time? Pat. Logan usually texted first. It had to be Patton. His best friend was currently on the other side of the country for a seminar, which meant he probably didn't realize how late it was. Roman grabbed the phone, forcing a smile on his lips as he hit answer for the video call. If he didn't, his best friend would panic and call the neighbors again to check in on him. Roman wasn't sure he wanted the company right now. "Hey, Pat, what's up?" he greeted, fingers fumbling in their signs. He was too wound up to properly form them anymore. Patton noticed too, his eyes immediately narrowing as he gave him the once-over. "You okay, Princey?" he asked gently. "I was just calling to see how your tour with Logan went." Roman grimaced and shrugged. "I don't know. It's..." He waved his hand vaguely. "Not what I expected. Different." He hadn't wanted to think about it until after he made his final choice. "Good different?" He bit his lip. "Maybe?" He shook his head. "I don't know. It's... different." His mind wasn't on the potential new job now. It was on the warp. On Thomas. On his new life. On Virgil. Had he made a mistake? "Ro? Look at me." Roman blinked, gripping the phone tightly as he raggedly inhaled, looking back at his best friend. Jeez. Both he and Thomas were in bad shape from this choice. Patton leaned forward. "It's going to be okay," he said, staring straight at the camera with his best 100-watt smile. "I know it's not what you wanted in a career, and it's a lot to think about, but it's your happiness we're concerned about. Lo won't be offended if you say no to the job, but you have to trust yourself." He touched his chest. "Trust your heart. No matter what you choose, Ro, you have our support. Give yourself time to think it over, okay? Don't rush into it before you consider all your options." That was true. He had their support. He had both Patton and Logan in his life in this new timeline when he hadn't had them in the other. He had to believe it would be all right, even if he never found out what happened to Virgil and Shush. Roman let out a slow breath, giving Patton a shaky smile as he nodded. "Okay," he mouthed, raising his hands to tap, tap. Roman paused, turning his head to the door with a frown. A double knock? Who was knocking on his door at this time of night? "What is it, Ro?" "A knock," he signed, without looking at the screen, moving to the door. "Someone's at the door." "Oh, well, don't let me keep you," Patton said, eyes lighting up. "Maybe it's a new neighbor." Maybe, but that would mean going through the whole awkward "I'm mute" conversation again. Those hardly ever went well. Still, he gave a quick salute in farewell, making a mental note as he pressed end to call Pat back once the person was gone. Setting the phone on the side table nearby, Roman fumbled with the locks before pulling the door open, the polite smile freezing on his face as he got a good look at his visitor. Purple and black jacket, pale face, wary dark eyes, a hesitant smile, a husky voice. "Hey."